Here are the most recent deaths in the national news, as reported at Legacy.com the first week of April 2024. Legacy.com is where you can find any obituary or publish an obituary in any newspaper in America and beyond. Actor Louis Gossett Jr. died March 29, 2024, in Santa Monica, California, at the age of 87. In 1983, he won the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor for his performance in An Officer and a Gentleman. He was the first Black actor to win that Oscar category. Gossett is also being remembered for a long career in movies, TV shows, and Broadway plays, including Roots, Iron Eagle, Enemy Mine, and A Raisin in the Sun. A note to remember, sometimes personal information, such as someone's cause of death, is not announced immediately by their family or the authorities. When a cause of death has not been officially confirmed, we do not report on rumors. Every family has a right to their privacy. Actress Barbara Rush died March 31, 2024, at the age of 97. She starred in the classic 3D horror film It Came from Outer Space. Rush is also being remembered for her performances in such TV shows as Peyton Place and All My Children, and for her guest turn as villain Nora Clavicle on TV's Batman. Actor Chance Perdomo died March 30, 2024, in upstate New York. He died of injuries sustained in a motorcycle accident at the age of 27. He starred on Chilling Adventures of Sabrina as the fan-favorite character Ambrose. Perdomo is also being remembered as one of the stars of the recent spin-off of The Boys, Gen V. Physicist Herbert Kroemer died March 8, 2024, at the age of 95. He won a Nobel Prize for his work in semiconductors, which helped lead to the widespread proliferation of such modern technology as smartphones and mobile devices. Kroemer is also being remembered as a longtime professor at the University of California, Santa Barbara. Actress Jennifer Leake died March 18, 2024, at her home in Jupiter, Florida. She died after years living with progressive supranuclear palsy at the age of 76. She was known for roles in soap operas like The Young and the Restless, Another World, and Guiding Light. Leake is also being remembered for her performance in the Lucille Ball Henry Fonda movie Yours, Mine, and Ours. Basketball player Walt Wesley died March 28, 2024, at Moffitt Cancer Center in Tampa, Florida. He died of leukemia at the age of 79. He was a star of the University of Kansas Jayhawks in the 1960s, leading the team to a Big 8 championship. Wesley is also being remembered for his NBA career with such teams as the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Chicago Bulls. Politician Bill Delahunt died March 30, 2024, at his home in Quincy, Massachusetts. He died after a long illness at the age of 82. He represented Massachusetts as a Democrat in the U.S. House of Representatives from 1997 to 2011. He is being remembered for authoring a law that gives automatic citizenship to children adopted from overseas by U.S. parents. Delahunt was a U.S. Coast Guard veteran who served in the 1960s. Esther Coopersmith died March 6, 2024, in Washington, D.C. She died of cancer at the age of 94. Coopersmith was considered one of America's unofficial diplomats for more than 70 years, hosting politicians and leaders from all over the world at events and dinner parties in her own home. She is also being remembered as a UNESCO Goodwill Ambassador, who was honored with the United Nations Peace Prize for her efforts to encourage dialogue in the Middle East. Educator and activist Ramona Edelin died February 19, 2024, of cancer at the age of 78. Her death was more widely reported this week. She is credited with introducing the term African American to the academic community, helping bring it into widespread use. Edelin is also being remembered for creating leadership programs to help nurture Black youth, including the M. Carl Holman Leadership Development Institute and the Executive Leadership Program. Musician Chris Cross died March 25, 2024, at the age of 71. He was the bassist for Ultravox, known for new wave hits in the UK like Vienna and Dancing with Tears in My Eyes. Cross is being remembered as one of the band's songwriters who contributed to some of their most popular singles. World War II veteran Lou Conter died April 1, 2024, at his home in Grass Valley, California, at the age of 102. He joined the U.S. Navy in 1939 and was stationed on the U.S.S. Arizona. He was on board 2 years later when the Arizona was bombed at Pearl Harbor. Conter helped the wounded onto lifeboats that day. 82 years later, he was the last remaining survivor of the ship's crew. Conter is being remembered for more than 25 years of military service, including fighting in World War II and the Korean War, and helping develop survival training for airmen shot down in the jungle. Musician Casey Benjamin died March 30, 2024, in Maryland at the age of 45. He played saxophone and other instruments with the jazz hip-hop fusion band the Glasper Experiment, winning 2 Grammy Awards with the group. Benjamin is also being remembered for his work with the funk duo Heavy and with artists like Beyoncé, Kendrick Lamar, and John Legend. Football player Vontae Davis died April 1, 2024, at his home in Southwest Ranches, Florida, at the age of 35. He was a cornerback who went to 2 Pro Bowls with the Indianapolis Colts in 2014 and 2015. Davis is also being remembered for his seasons with the Miami Dolphins and for retiring from football during halftime while he was with the Buffalo Bills. Actress Barbara Baldavin died March 31, 2024, in Manhattan Beach, California. She died of congestive heart failure at the age of 85. She is best known for playing a Starfleet officer in several episodes of Star Trek: The Original Series. Baldavin is also being remembered for her regular role on Medical Center, playing Nurse Holmby. Radio personality Lee Siegfried died March 30, 2024, after a long illness at the age of 55. He was better known as Crazy Cabby, a regular on The Howard Stern Show. He is also being remembered as a radio DJ on such stations as K-Rock in New York City and KQRS and 93.7 The Edge in Minnesota. Siegfried was a veteran of the United States Army. Actress and TV executive Lynn Loring died December 23, 2023, at a hospital in Tarzana, California. Her family announced her death this week. She died after a series of chronic illnesses at the age of 80. Loring was a child star on Search for Tomorrow and went on to appear in movies and TV shows like Splendor in the Grass and The FBI. She is also being remembered as one of the top female Hollywood executives in the 1980s and 90s who had the idea for the popular TV adaptation of In the Heat of the Night. Baseball executive Larry Lucchino died April 2, 2024, at the age of 78. As president of the Boston Red Sox, he helped build the team into a modern dynasty and won 3 World Series rings. Lucchino is being remembered for leading the way in modern ballpark trends by developing Baltimore's Oriole Park at Camden Yards. He is also noted for his charitable work with the Dana-Farber Cancer Institute. Author Maryse Condé died April 2, 2024, in Vaucluse, France, at the age of 90. She was a French-Caribbean novelist whose work focused on the African diaspora. Condé is being remembered for such novels as I, Tituba, Black Witch of Salem, Windward Heights, and the award-winning Ségou. Musician Gerry Conway died March 29, 2024, after fighting ALS at the age of 76. He was a drummer who played in Cat Stevens' backing band on such hits as Can't Keep It In and Oh Very Young. Conway is also being remembered as a former member of bands including Jethro Tull and Fairport Convention. Poet and activist John Sinclair died April 2, 2024, in Detroit. He died after a long illness at the age of 82. He was a counterculture icon who founded the anti-racist group the White Panthers, managed the pioneering rock band MC5, and performed jazz poetry both live and on more than 24 albums. Sinclair is also being remembered as an advocate for legal cannabis, whose prison sentence for possession inspired the John Lennon song John Sinclair. Author John Barth died April 2, 2024, at a hospice facility in Bonita Springs, Florida, at the age of 93. His 1960 novel, The Sot-Weed Factor, is considered a classic of postmodern literature. Barth is also being remembered for such books as Giles Goatboy, Lost in the Funhouse, and Chimera. Playwright Christopher Durang died April 2, 2024, at his home in Pipersville, Pennsylvania. He died of complications from aphasia at the age of 75. He wrote darkly funny plays like Sister Mary Ignatius Explains It All For You and Beyond Therapy. Durang is being remembered for winning the 2013 Tony Award for Best Play for Vanya and Sonia and Masha and Spike. Football player Mike Kolen died April 3, 2024, at the age of 76. He was a linebacker who won 2 Super Bowls with the Miami Dolphins, including in their legendary 1972 undefeated season. Kolen is being remembered as Captain Crunch, nicknamed for his hard-hitting style. Juan Vicente Pérez Mora died April 2, 2024, at the age of 114. He was the world's oldest man at the time of his death, and the 4th oldest verified man ever. Perez is being remembered for attributing his longevity to working hard, praying, and drinking a glass of alcohol every day. Actor and comedian Joe Flaherty died April 1, 2024, at the age of 82. He was an original cast member of the sketch comedy show SCTV, known for characters like Count Floyd and Guy Caballero. He is also being remembered as the golf heckler in Happy Gilmore, Lindsay and Sam's dad in Freaks and Geeks, and many other TV and movie roles. Flaherty was a U.S. Air Force veteran who served for 4 years in the 1960s. In addition to featuring current deaths in the news, Legacy.com also honors the lives and legacies of notable people who died in the past. Here are some of this week's anniversaries. 29 years ago this week, singer Selena was killed at the age of 23. She was called the Queen of Tejano music, known for hits like Como la Flor and Amor Prohibido. 30 years ago this week, musician and songwriter Kurt Cobain died at the age of 27. He was the frontman for Nirvana, the genre-defining grunge band whose classic songs included Smells Like Teen Spirit. 56 years ago this week, the Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. was killed at the age of 39. He was a giant of the civil rights movement, who advocated nonviolent resistance as he fought for desegregation and the right to vote. Actor Heath Ledger was born 45 years ago this week. He died in January 2008 at the age of 28. His acclaimed performances included Monsters Ball, Brokeback Mountain, and The Dark Knight. Poet and musician Gil Scott-Heron was born 75 years ago this week. He died in May 2011 at the age of 62. He was known for spoken word poetry, including the influential poem, "The Revolution Will Not Be Televised." Supermodel Naomi Sims was born 76 years ago this week. She died in August 2009 at the age of 61. She was one of the first black supermodels, breaking barriers and paving the way for more diversity in modeling. Singer and songwriter Marvin Gaye was born 85 years ago this week. He was killed in April 1984, 40 years ago this week, at the age of 44. His many hits included Let's Get It On and I Heard It Through the Grapevine. Actress and singer Debbie Reynolds was born 92 years ago this week. She died in December 2016 at the age of 84. She was the beloved star of such movies as Singin' in the Rain and Tammy and the Bachelor. Fashion designer Liz Claiborne was born 95 years ago this week. She died in June 2007 at the age of 78. She was the first female CEO of a Fortune 500 company, and she revolutionized business attire for women with her tailored separates. Actor Marlon Brando was born 100 years ago this week. He died in July 2004 at the age of 80. A great star of classic Hollywood, he won Academy Awards for his performances in On the Waterfront and The Godfather. Every week in the United States, flags are lowered to half-staff to honor the lives of Americans whose communities are mourning their loss. Here are the most recent half-staff memorial flag honors. Flags in Massachusetts have been lowered to honor the memory of former United States Congressman William D. Delahunt. Flags in Hawaii have been lowered to honor the memory of the last Pearl Harbor survivor, Lou Conter. Flags in Kentucky have been lowered to honor the memory of Robert Willis Lindsay of the Pikeville Fire Department, who died in the line of duty. Flags in North Carolina have been lowered to honor the memory of Lexington Fire Captain Ronnie Metcalf, who died of injuries sustained in the line of duty. Flags in Arizona have been lowered to honor the memory of Tucson police officer Adam Buckner, who died in the line of duty. Flags in Illinois have been lowered to honor the memory of DeKalb County Sheriff's Deputy Christina Mussel, who died in the line of duty. Flags in Ohio have been lowered to honor the memory of former State Representative Bridget Kelly. Flags in South Carolina have been lowered to honor the memory of firefighter Michael Douglas Vinson of the Lawrence County Fire Department and the Clinton Fire Department, who died in the line of duty. You can read more about the lives of the people featured in this video on Legacy.com. At Legacy.com, any family can publish an obituary in honor of a loved one's memory online and in local newspapers everywhere. Just visit Legacy.com and select your local community. You can also follow Legacy.com on Facebook and subscribe to our channel here on YouTube to stay up to date on national news deaths.